Monte. You were talking about the Brian Windhorst sound regarding the LA Lakers getting swept. We didn't pull that sound, did we, guys?
No, he's getting it. No, it was.
We're efforting it back here.
All right.
What are you doing today, Loveman, back there?
I don't know what Lubman does. Lubman, honestly, I feel like Lubman works before the show and after the show. During the show.
Oh, there is a lot of work happening during the show.
During the show, he's, boy.
I'm all over the place during the show.
Watching Jaylen Brown last night, did you think that...
Oh, my God.
What? Why are you laughing?
Go ahead.
Well, watching Jaylen Brown last night with a fine-tooth comb, did you think about that hypothetical trade that Mark Willard bandied about?
Yeah, the trade Mark Willard stole from Colin Coward.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I'm kidding.
Well, however he got it, let's just, entertain it.
I think it's a bad deal. I actually quote tweeted him just to get it out because I was thinking about the trade a lot because it took over the conversation at the summit. And I get that Andrew Wiggins missed 2 months of the season. But do we forget the postseason run Andrew Wiggins had a season? Hell, do we forget the postseason run he was having this year? He just dropped 25-7-5, got hurt. Now I get it. Jaylen Brown is a very special player. But think about it like this. Andrew Wiggins is signed for the next 4 years for $109 million. $109 million. Now, that's a lot of money. But I look at Jaylen Brown last night. He had 16, 4 and 4, whatever it was. He was 7-16 from the floor, 1-5 from 3. Play a solid defense. I thought I was watching Andrew Wiggins. So I'm thinking to myself, Jaylen Brown's shorter than Andrew Wiggins by a couple inches. Andrew Wiggins in those finals was a better player than Jaylen Brown last season. Look, Jaylen Brown has been to the conference finals numerous times. That's the second time Andrew Wiggins had ever been in the playoffs. And remember the question mark surrounding Andrew Wiggins going into that playoff run. We don't know if he's going to get it done. He's faded since the All-Star game. I don't think you can count on him. He was your most consistent player outside of Stephen Curry.
Well, and also, if you bring in Jaylen Brown and you pay him that supermax,
that's what I'm saying.
How does Steph Curry feel about that?
I don't think Steph Curry cares. Steph Curry at one point was the 5th highest paid player on his basketball team.
Yeah, but that was years ago.
I don't get it.
I'm just asking.
I just think you just look at Jaylen Brown. Is he worth $300 million in those expectations?
That's a good question. I have a hard time because I think a lot of these guys are ridiculously, paid, and it's hard to even wrap my head around any of these numbers these days. I'm just being honest. The normal person, is there really a big difference between $220 million and $300 million? To me, to the average guy.
It's a difference between $109 million and $300 million. And again, I was trying to explain this yesterday. Lubman and I, we had this conversation. I know a lot of people at the summit said, hell no, the Celtics wouldn't do that trade. If I'm Boston, I'm saying, well, I can have Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins for a combined $250 million, or I can have one player for $300 million. Oh, and by the way, they're throwing in Jonathan Kuminga. We have no future with Malcolm Brogdon. And Malcolm Brogdon's been getting cooked. I mean, come on, man. Solid player, but I would bet on Jordan Poole's future over Malcolm Brogdon's future, who's already 30 years old. I just look at the Celtics and I'm saying, well, Jason Tatum's their number one, and he was their number one last night. Jason Tatum played great. Mm-hmm. He's their guy, which I don't think Jaylen Brown knows. I think Jaylen Brown wants to be the guy. You're not going to be the guy in Boston. Andrew Wiggins, here's what we know about Andrew Wiggins. He has no problem being the second or third option.
Yes.
He has no problem being in the background.
I agree with that, and it's great when that's a positive thing, but there are times where you need him to assert himself more.
And we saw him assert himself in... We saw him assert himself in the finals, in the Western Conference Finals. We saw him assert himself in the Memphis Grizzlies series. We saw him assert himself in Denver. We saw that. We saw it with our own two eyes. So asserting himself alongside Jason Tatum would be amazing for Andrew Wiggins.
I agree.
And then you get to Jordan Poole, who gets a new lease on life.
Well, I feel like he needs that. Maybe the team needs that.
Him playing off of Jason Tatum and it could be him and Andrew Wiggins alternating, whatever it is.
He'd have a nice space.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
He'd ball out in Boston. Now, defensively, he'd have to get better. Mm-hmm. But I think he will get better with time. Is he going to be the elite defender? I don't know. But I think with time he'll get better.
I just don't. I'm not in the unless I'm getting some elite post player.
Right.
I'm not really moving off of Wiggins right now.
That trade does nothing for me. It feels
No.
like a lateral move. And oh, by the way, here's Jonathan Kuminga, who I think could be a really good player in this league. So that trade to me, the more and more time passes, the more and more I'm like, if I'm the Golden State Warriors, I do not propose anything like that. And if the Boston Celtics called with that deal, I'm hanging up the phone.
Well, I've seen Julius Randle's name bandied about. Do you have any interest in him?
It's okay, but he feels like an ISO player, right?
Yeah.
Feels like a guy where he gets the ball just sticks.
What position do you think he truly is?
He's a 4, but he plays offense like a 3,
Like
right?
a point forward.
Yeah, he chucks up a lot of threes. I'm not really interested in Julius Randle.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I'm not high on him.
Yeah.
You
A couple
know?
years ago, I feel like there's a lot of New York hype wrapped around him, and I don't think the hype is justified.
Very good regular season player.
I'm out on him.
In the playoffs, you could scheme around him, and you could slow him down. I'm not high on Julius Randle. I'm kind of with the 408. And I don't even know if Milwaukee's even entertaining it, but I'm kind of on that Giannis or bust trade.
Do you think there's any chance of getting Lauri Markkanen out of Utah?
I don't know. Wouldn't Danny Ainge want to build around him?
I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know what they're doing either.
I'm not really sure what they're doing. But is that the kind of player that you would move off one of these guys for?
I could grab a Lauri Markkanen.
I think he would work really well with this team.
I like Lauri Markkanen a lot.
I do get worried about, an unbelievable ascension as a number one. Does that translate to him fitting in behind Steph here? Just, I think he's a really good player. I think he's sophisticated enough offensively to make it work. But are you getting kind of like the way we looked at Kevin Love, and they're very, very, very different players, but the way we looked at Kevin Love in Minnesota, I think we kind of overrated how good Kevin Love was because he was on some lesser teams throwing up ridiculous numbers. And I think once he got onto a winning team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, his role had to adjust. And I don't know. Had Kevin played with better players from the jump, I don't think he would have been a max player.
Yeah, me too. I am with you.
And I like Kevin Love as a role player, but he's not a max player.
No, he's not a max player.
And I'm looking at someone like Lauri Markkanen, and I see him more as a role player than a centerpiece max player. And maybe I'm underrating him.
Yeah, Julius Randle had the 4-year, $117 million contract extension with the Knicks. So it's by today's standards, a fair deal. But I think I need a big boy. If I'm going to move off these guys, can I get a big boy? Jaylen Brown's a nice player. He's a nice player. He really is. I get the 26 points per game. He's inconsistent at times, no doubt. He's a very good player. But as defenders, I feel like they're the same.
Okay, what about Karl-Anthony Towns? A lot of people have texted me and asked me about going and getting Karl-Anthony Towns. What is your opinion of that? I'm not even going to attach names to it or anything. Just Karl-Anthony Towns.
He has a lot of talent, Shasky.
He's always hurt.
I don't know if I got to look that up, but
What
can
part?
you get his head right?
What part do you have to look up?
The playing every game, the always hurt.
Well, it just feels like he's missed a lot of time, and maybe I'm wrong on that, but it feels like he does.
So Karl-Anthony Towns, pardon me, first 3 years, 82, 82, 82. Then he goes 77. Then he goes 35. Then he goes 50. Then he goes 74. Then he goes 29. So 3 of the last 4 years, he's been beat up a little bit.
I know there was some COVID stuff in there and some family stuff in there, so maybe that's an unfair remark by me.
He loves playing on the outside.
Yeah.
He loves playing on the outside. And when he checks out, he checks out.
Well, and he's another guy. You want to talk about shot selection?
Right.
Shot, discernment? Ugh.
IQ. Can you play in this offense?
If you're asking me reclamation project-wise, would I rather take Karl-Anthony Towns or Zion? I'd much rather have Zion.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. And that's what the 408 saying. Zion over Towns all damn day. Towns is a defensive liability. I agree. Towns is not good. I'm out on Towns. More I think about that, I'm out on Towns. I'm out on Porzingis. I'm out. If he can stay healthy. Well, that's been the question his entire career. Can't stay healthy.
And who does he defend?
Yeah, I'm out on Porzingis. I like the Giannis or bust train. What happens with Zion Williamson? Because I think, boy, post presence. He's got that.
Don't you think he's on the move?
Yes.
Would you be willing to part with all the youngsters and one of your bigger pieces for Zion Williamson?
I would. I would take that
too.
chance. I would take that chance. That bigger piece would be Draymond.
You think?
I don't know.
Actually,
I don't
Draymond
know.
on New Orleans isn't a bad idea.
Yeah. So I'm looking at Kristaps Porzingis, 27 years old. Rookie year, played 72 games. Did he play 65? Did he play 48? Did he didn't miss the entire season with an ACL injury? He didn't play 57. Listen to these game logs, Shasky. 57, 43, 51, 34, 17, 65. I'm not trading a lot for Kristaps Porzingis.
What's the most he's ever played?
72 his rookie 72 his rookie season, 66 his second season, 65 his just this past year.
Wow.
I'm good off Kristaps. Wow. I'm good off Kristaps. Can't do it. No. But Naz Reid, he's an unrestricted free agent.
I would love him, but how are they going to fit him in?
I would love Naz Reid. He'd probably have to be a sign and trade.
And he'd be a guy coming off the bench behind Looney?
Oh, I think you got to start Naz Reid.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. You got to start Naz Reid. I like Naz.
Can he coexist with Draymond?
I think he could. Wouldn't you?
I like him a lot. I think he's very versatile. He's the athletic big that they're looking for, a rim runner. He can do just enough offensively. I feel like he's got good feel.
Spacing?
Yeah.
How would the spacing be?
Yeah, I think it would be good. I like him, but maybe that's not enough to actually change things. Like if I had inserted him in that Anthony Davis LeBron series, you think they get through the Lakers?
He makes it tougher. I don't know if they get through the Lakers. Because Clay stepped and not shoot the three ball well.
No.
Especially
well, that's the other thing. I quietly feel like they need more shooting.
Well,
and I think that if Poole has a better year shooting, then they have some better shooting.
Well,
if Clay shoots better in that series, they have better shooting.
You know what, though? The shooting, and I get they had open looks at times. They did. Mm-hmm. They miss a lot of open looks, especially Clay. Steph's not guilty. He's not innocent of that as well, but part of the spacing aspect of everything felt like affected the shooting.
Yes.
Guys were in their jersey. Like, Sacramento, they gave Clay no room to breathe.
No.
It gave Steph no room to breathe. I think that the spacing is so important because you think about the Sacramento game 3 when you had the one big lineup. Mm-hmm. And you played a little Jermichael at times, and you had all the 4 guards, and they were cutting to the basket. And that's what gets them going. All of a sudden, they're cutting to the basket. They're hitting layups. They're hitting mid-range jumpers. And all of a sudden, the threes open up. The spacing matters. The one big lineup matters. And can you run a one big lineup with Draymond Green? Yes, you can at times, but you're super small. So they need another shooter, no doubt, but I also think they need size. They need somebody who could just get you an easy basket, Shasky. An easy basket, back to the basket, boom, boom, 1-2 dribble, bam, hook shot or something. It's just, with Jokic now not going nowhere, still got Ayton. I know Ayton has his issues, but he got the Warriors problems this year.
Yeah, I feel like he's on the move, though.
He's probably on the move.
And that's where I worry. Like, what if they
What about a guy like Zubac? He destroys the Warriors.
He does. I was thinking, like, the team that I don't want to see get Zion Williamson is the Phoenix Suns. Zion, KD, and Booker.
That's nasty.
Because they've got pieces to move this year.
That's nasty. That is nasty. Let's go to Kurt in Oakland. Kurt, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. A couple big options. Granted, one is older, is Clint Capella. And then another one, he's overseas, so we don't know how good he'd actually be, is Taco Fall, because he'd be cheap. And then one who's been awfully injured, but he's up in Portland, is Yusuf Nurkic. See what they would offer for him. Even look at Valanciunas from New Orleans. And then the other one, because we know he would rebound and block shots, but fit would be pretty bad, and hard to get, would be Rudy Gobert, even though he's a nutcase, but he does defend, and that would help everybody out.
They're not moving off of Rudy Gobert, and the last thing they're doing is bringing somebody in who punched a teammate in a huddle.
Yeah. Well,
would be quite the 1-2 punch, though. Am I right?
Oh my God! What a great call! That was hilarious. Let me run some of these ideas through you. These are some trade proposals.
I can't even touch
these
that one,
feel a little more,
I can't
quote unquote, realistic than the big fish.
That is-
All right.
I can't believe you said that.
I love it. How about Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby? Does that infinitely make you better? Or does it matter what
Depends
you're
what
giving
you're
up?
giving up.
It just matters what you're giving up?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, what are you adding? What are you subtracting? That's,
What about Markelle Fultz and Wendell Carter?
oh my God.
That feels like we're searching.
Yeah, we're desperate.
What
Is that on? Where'd
These
you
are
find
just
these?
random. I wrote down Trey's proposals.
No, because I saw Markelle Fultz. Somebody asked me last week in person, was like, what do you think about Markelle Fultz? I said, can he stay on the court?
No. Brandon Wright thinks that Markelle Fultz's shoulder isn't right.
Oh, my
I mean,
God.
come on.
I was going down the rabbit hole yesterday looking at old Warrior squads. What a bad trade that was. He was not even
Bad
getting
trade.
minutes.
It's one of the
Darrell Wright's
worst trades
first
of all time.
Yeah, I know. Darrell Wright's first season, and Brandon Wright was on that roster not getting run. I was
All
like,
right.
damn.
Here's another one. Kyle Kuzma and, I don't know, one of the Morrises, maybe Wright. Would you take Kyle Kuzma? I would take Kyle Kuzma.
I like Kuzma.
I do too.
I do like Kuzma.
I think he fits.
Give me him and Darrell Wright. I'll take, not Darrell, DeLon Wright.
DeLon Wright. I agree
He
with
feels
you.
a backup point guard role. He's a defensive first guard. He's starting to hit the open three. He has really good ball handling. He puts pressure on the defense. DeLon Wright and Kyle Kuzma for who? I don't know. But those two guys are nice. Very underrated.
I had some free agent names that I want to run by you here. So here's just some free agents that I kind of look at and I'm like, oh, these are interesting. Okay. These are random guys that I don't know what their value is, but when you're looking at like trying to bring in vet min guys, I'll run some of these names by you. I've always been a Dario Saric fan. I like his game.
Dario. I think the most underrated aspect of that finals with Milwaukee and Phoenix was Dario Saric getting hurt and tearing his ACL.
I agree.
It completely killed their
Doesn't he
front
feel
court
like
depth.
a warrior?
He's tough, man.
I like
He's
him.
tough. I like Saric. He's
Okay.
an unrestricted free agent.
So you'd be in on him.
I'd be in on Dario Saric, no doubt.
This guy played really hard. I like Torrey Craig. Would you take Torrey Craig on your team?
Depends what I have around him.
Okay.
It's a later move.
Daniel House Jr.
Too up and down for me.
Okay.
And he's too up and down.
Okay. No, that's fair enough. George Niang.
They had Niang.
You're out.
Yeah. Remember they had Niang.
For
He
how
was on
long?
the roster.
I don't even remember. It was like a
Yeah,
week.
Niang was on the roster.
When?
It's like the KD years.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. George Niang out of Iowa State, right?
Yeah. Was he a
Iowa
two-way
State.
player?
He was a two-way guy.
Okay. I vaguely remember that.
He was with the Warriors. He never really was on the official
you go.
roster.
Okay, there you
He's
go.
Summer League, G League.
All right. How about Jay Crowder?
Depends. If I need a vet man, maybe.
Well, these are all guys that I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't think they have huge markets.
Right.
That's why I'm looking
I'd
at them.
be in on Jay Crowder.
I would too.
I'll take Jay Crowder off the bench.
Drew Eubanks.
Yeah, I'm out on that one. Drew Eubanks. Explain to people because I don't think a lot of people know who Drew Eubanks is.
That's
Do
why
you
I
even know who Drew Eubanks is?
like we're scraping the barrel here.
Do you know who
Cody
Drew Eubanks?
Zeller. Would you take one of the Zellers?
One of the Zellers playing well. Eubanks up in Portland.
I don't even think he got run this year, and they were tanking.
Dude, he could play 20 minutes a game, average 6 points and 3 rebounds.